Welcome to this explainer. Listen, Okaloosa County is home to some seriously booming coastal developments and really rapid property turnovers, which makes real estate around here a pretty high-stakes game. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars on the line. And you know the single most critical piece of paper protecting that massive investment? The property deed. So today, we are going on a bit of a procedural treasure hunt into Okaloosa County's property records. We're going to learn exactly how to look up property deeds, navigate the county's digital and physical archives, uncover hidden liens, verify ownership, and basically spot boundary issues before they become your very, very expensive problem. So let's dive right in.
Right off the bat, I want to hook you with this number. $11. Yeah, just $11. According to Okaloosa County's fee schedule, $11 is exactly what it costs to pull a standard 3-page e-certified, totally tamper-proof copy of a property deed online. I mean, for less than the price of a decent lunch, you can secure legally verifiable documentation that could literally protect hundreds of thousands of dollars in your real estate investments. But, of course, to get that document, you have to know exactly where to look. So, here is our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with property deeds, the basics, then move into navigating Okaloosa's digital portals, compare online versus physical searches, go over decoding the record details, cover some troubleshooting and pro tips, and finally wrap up with our disclaimer and next steps. Okay, Section 1, Property Deeds, the basics. Let's figure out what's actually at stake in your property search. So a deed is just the legal document that officially transfers property ownership, right? But here's the thing, not all deeds are created equal. Knowing the difference is absolutely crucial for prospective homeowners and investors. In Okaloosa County, you're going to frequently run into these 3 types. First up, the warranty deed. This is the absolute gold standard when you're buying a home because the seller is legally guaranteeing they own the property free and clear of any hidden liens. Then we have the quitclaim deed. This is a much quicker transfer, usually used in divorces or if you're just moving property into an LLC. But beware, it offers absolutely zero guarantees about the title's history. And finally, there's the ladybird deed, also known as an enhanced life estate deed. This one is super interesting because it lets a property owner transfer their real estate upon their death, completely bypassing the whole lengthy probate court process. So just knowing which deed you're looking at instantly tells you the level of security attached to that property. Now, to effectively read and search for those deeds, you really need to know the major players. The absolute most crucial point here is understanding the difference between the grantor and the grantee. The grantor is the seller, or the person transferring the property. The grantee is the buyer, the person receiving it. You've got to keep these definitions locked in your mind. As we move into the county databases, knowing who is the grantor and who is the grantee is basically your master key to successfully querying the official search index. All right, moving to Section 2, navigating Okaloosa's digital portals. Let's find out where those records actually live. A really major pitfall for beginners is assuming that you can just rely on one single database for a comprehensive look at a property's history. Not the case. Okaloosa County actually splits its data across 4 distinct portals. First, you have the official record search, which is powered by Tyler Technologies. This is where you'll find your deeds, mortgages, and recorded liens. Next up is ClerkQuest. That's your portal for court cases, active foreclosures, and civil lawsuits. Third is the Property Appraiser portal, which evaluates tax assessment history, shows the parcel ID, and lists the current owner of record. And finally, we have the e-Certify portal. This is where you actually go to purchase those tamper-proof, digitally encrypted copies of the records you found. Now, to keep from feeling totally overwhelmed by bouncing between all these different websites, we can break the workflow down into 3 actionable steps. Step 1, always start at the Property Appraiser portal. Search the physical street address to find the parcel ID and, crucially, the book and page number of the most recent deed. Step 2, take that book and page number straight over to the official records direct query. If you happen to not have those numbers, you can just search the owner's name in both the grantor and grantee index fields to see exactly how they acquired the land and check if they've sold any easements or taken out second mortgages. And Step 3, historical records retrieval. If your chain of title goes back decades, you're going to have to transition to manual historical searching. When you're in that second step, using the Tyler Technologies official record search, keep this analogy in mind. The database operates exactly like an old-school library card catalog. Actually, scratch that. It's really just a search engine matching your specific inputs, like names or dates, to scanned images of the actual legally binding documents. The online index itself isn't the legal document. You have to physically open and read the actual image to verify the facts.
Section 3. Online versus physical searches, knowing when to boot up and when to show up.
Okay, get ready for a major plot twist in your research. January 1st, 1983. That right there is the strict cutoff date for Okaloosa County's comprehensive online database. If you're researching a really historic home, or maybe a parcel of land that literally hasn't changed hands in 40 years, and you need records from before 1983, well, the online indexing is going to be heavily limited. You simply cannot rely on a web search for that deep history. And that brings us to a direct comparison of accessing these records. The online e-Certify system, incredibly convenient for modern records. You can pay with a credit card from your couch, though just be aware there is a 3.5% processing fee. But here is a massive word of warning. The download links you purchase strictly expire after 30 days. If you forget to download your PDF, you are going to be paying for it all over again. On the flip side, visiting the physical courthouse is an absolute necessity for those pre-1983 manual searches. You'll literally have to put on shoes and visit the public self-help computer terminals located inside the clerk's offices in either Crestview or Fort Walton Beach, and you've got to do it during their operating hours, which are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Moving to Section 4, decoding the record details. This is how you read Okaloosa County indexes like a pro. So when you're reading legal descriptions in the index, you're going to encounter a lot of highly abbreviated text. It kind of looks like alphabet soup. Okaloosa County systems frequently utilize standardized shorthand. For instance, ADDN stands for addition, COND means condominium, L simply means lot, and sub translates to subdivision. If you don't know these abbreviations, a legal description like L5 sub 2 might look like total gibberish, when really it just means lot 5 of subdivision 2. Simple, right?
Now, here is an incredibly strict rule about the search index you've got to remember. Okaloosa County indexes symbols exactly as they appear on the original document. Literally, if the original deed from 1995 has a hyphen in the parcel description and you type your search query without that exact hyphen, the system will return 0 results. Dollars, numbers, periods, hyphens, and slashes, a single missed keystroke can derail your entire search and make you think a property has a clear title when it actually doesn't.
Section 5, troubleshooting and pro tips. Let's look at avoiding some common research roadblocks. Let's talk about the most common roadblocks you're likely to encounter. First, the search engine does not automatically guess name variations. If the deed says Robert Smith, searching Bob Smith simply won't work. You've got to manually input all potential variations of a name to make sure you're getting an accurate result. Second, if you're searching for court cases involving a corporate entity or an LLC on the ClerkQuest portal, you can't just do it as a guest. You actually have to complete the free public registration process to unlock those business searches. And third, like we mentioned earlier, e-Certify links vanish after 30 days. So download your files the absolute minute you buy them and back them up on your own hard drive so you don't lose access.
But here is the ultimate pro move, straight from the experts. Listen to this. Do not just stop at the official records database. A truly thorough search requires cross-referencing the official deed index with active court filings on ClerkQuest. Why? Because a pending lawsuit, maybe a partition action, or an active foreclosure might be moving through the courts right this second, but it hasn't resulted in a final recorded judgment on the property deed quite yet. If you only look at the deeds, the property looks perfectly clean, but checking ClerkQuest might reveal a massive legal battle brewing just beneath the surface. And that brings us to Section 6, final thoughts and disclaimer, protecting your investment. Okay, before we wrap up, I do need to state this very clearly. Disclaimer. This explainer is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal counsel. While you are now hopefully highly empowered with this new knowledge, remember that high-stakes real estate always requires professional verification. So please, verify all information, title statuses, and legal descriptions with professional legal advisors, title companies, or just directly with the Okaloosa Clerk's office. So I'm going to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought. Do you really know who owns your property and what kind of history might be hiding in its chain of title? Well, you've got the tools now to go find out. If you hit a snag, or if you have specific title and deed questions about those Okaloosa County databases, drop them in the comments below. We are always here to help you keep learning. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and hey, happy hunting.